So UFC 323 happened this weekend, and King here MMA, will be deciding who should fight who for their next fight. So yeah, let's get this started. And for the first fight on the card, we'll start with the loser in Muhammad Naimov. Muhammad Naimov's got knocked out by Marion Santos. For Muhammad Naimov, maybe I think like a Luke Riley would be a good, like, not too much of a step down. And for Luke Riley, that'd be a good fight for him too. Naimov's got pretty decent wrestling for the featherweight division. I think that's a good booking. I think we book that. And for Marion Santos won against Muhammad Naimov. I'm pretty sure he's 3-0 in the UFC, if I'm not wrong. I think he gets someone fringe of top 20. Maybe we could do a David Onama. Oh, well, it says he's ranked. Yeah, David Onama, if they want him to fight someone ranked. Or Aaron Pico, because Aaron Pico really does. I don't think he should be fighting anybody ranked at this point. But yeah, they're literally right next to each other too, which is insane. So I think that's a good matchup. So yeah, I think we book that. And for the next fight, for Antonio Tricoli, he's getting cut from the UFC, so I'm not going to really worry about him. But for Mansour Abdul Malik, he's just fighting cans. I thought he was on a 4-fight winning streak, but I think he needs to fight someone fringe of top 20 as well. I think he should fight maybe Christian Leroy Duncan. That'd be a really cool fight. Or a Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin Gastelum really does need to fight someone at that level. And yeah, I think Kelvin Gastelum. I think that's a good fight. Kelvin Gastelum's a name. Build the name for Abdul Malik. And yeah, I think we book that fight. And for the next fight, crazy fight that happened, probably should have been like fight of the night, will be like round of the year, if I'm guessing right, for Ibo Aslan. He's on a 3-fight losing streak, but if they give him one more shot, let's see, yeah, they got him down there, but I think they give him where is he? Kevin Christian's pretty shit. Or Marcin Prachnio. Marcin Prachnio, I'm pretty sure, on a 2 to 3-fight losing streak. Yeah, so give Ibo Aslan one more shot. And if he loses to Marcin Prachnio, cut him. And for Iwo Baroniski, he would have went up the rankings, but so yeah, for Iwo Baroniski, he could fight Rodolfo Bilardo, or maybe even a Omar C. Omar C really hasn't proven himself yet. I think that'd be a good fight. Yeah, so Aro Baroniski versus Omar C. That's a good fight. I think we book it. For the next fight on the card, Edson Barboza. I think Edson needs to retire. I don't even think he should get a match up. Yeah, so I think Edson will either be cut or should retire. But for Jalen Turner, he's come back to the UFC with a win. I don't know, man, because there's a couple fights I had for him. I don't think he should get anyone crazy. I could see Jalen Turner versus Michael Chandler being made, just to finally get Michael Chandler out of the rankings, but I've heard that he's going to fight. I heard he's fighting I'm dumb. Michael Chandler's fighting Connor, yeah. But I guess we could do Jalen Turner versus a... I don't think you can give him anyone in the rankings. I guess Grant Dawson. Yeah. Grant Dawson just lost. He was a top 15 guy, I was pretty sure, and yeah, I guess Jalen versus Grant Dawson. Or Jalen Turner versus a the winner of Renato Moicano. No, the loser of not Renato, of Alexander Hernandez versus Michael Johnson. That could be a good fight. So yeah, Jalen should fight one of those two. For the next fight, oh god, whoa, Marvin Vettori, he lost to Bruno Ferreira. I think Marvin goes to the regional scene. That's legit what I'm thinking. He's on a 5-fight losing streak. He should get cut from the UFC. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. And he's 32, which is crazy. But for Marvin Vettori, if they want to keep him in the UFC, you've got to give him bottom of the lowest of the low. How the mighty have fallen. I think you give him... Gerald Meerschaert. They're both on crazy losing streaks. If he loses to Gerald Meerschaert, there is no excuse to keep Marvin Vettori in the UFC. They're both named fighters. I think that's a smart fight to put on. So Marvin Vettori versus Gerald Meerschaert, I think we book it. Or they don't want to give Marvin Vettori such a washed fighter, you give Marvin Vettori versus Andre Petroski. So yeah, I think the Gerald Meerschaert one makes sense for Marvin Vettori. And for Bruno Ferreira, he gets a ranking. I think he gets number 14. I think I could see him fighting number... Who could he fight? He could fight Robert Whittaker, but I feel like they'll want Robert Whittaker fighting someone in the middle. It's hard. Yeah. Who do you give Bruno Ferreira? I guess Bruno Ferreira versus Robert Whittaker. That's a good fight. I think that is the fight to make. So yeah, I think we book that. Or you give him Ikram Aliskirov. Ikram is a really good step up for Bruno Ferreira. I think we book that too, yeah. Ikram versus Bruno. That's a good fight. And for Nazim Sadikov from lightweight, he took a brutal loss. He needs to fight down. He needs to fight someone fringe top 30, top 25. I guess we could do maybe... Let me get it up. I like the... Urabai just went up. So that's going to make no sense. Rafa Garcia. Rafa Garcia's got to go up. He just won against Jared Gordon, even though Jared Gordon just got hit by a car. I think that makes a lot of sense. It's a step down, and Rafa Garcia gets that fringe of top 20, 25. So, yeah, I think we booked that fight. Makes a lot of sense. And for Aziam, he has to get someone ranked. This is insane how he's not getting ranked opponents. For Aziam... You got to give him... I think we introduce for SZM 2. The problem is half these fighters will not want to take these fights. I think for SZM should fight... Renato Moicano. Renato Moicano has no excuse. He can't keep running from the the up and comers. He has to fight someone in an up and comer. He has to fight for SZM. I think that's who he should fight. I think that's a good fight to put on. So yeah, book it. For Macy Barber versus Corinne Silva, she's gonna get someone, top 10. I don't think she's gonna, or she'll fight another up and comer. What are they, flyweights? Yep. So I guess we could do Natalia Silva? Corinne Silva. A lot of Silvers. Yeah, Corinne Silva, number 9. I guess we could do her versus Eduardo Mora. Eduardo Mora is pretty cool. Or Corinne Silva versus a Wang Kong. That would be a good fight. Yeah. Corinne Silva versus Wang Kong. That makes a lot of sense. So we book that. And for Macy Barber, I think there's only really one fight in the division for her. I think it's Erin Blanchfield. Erin Blanchfield, as good as she is, I think she needs one more win. And if she beats Macy Barber, who's on a 6-fight win streak, I think that will get you the title shot. So yeah, I think we rebook that fight. Erin Blanchfield versus Macy Barber. Not for like a fight night, maybe a co-main for a fight night. For the next fight, Terrence McKinney. He does Terrence McKinney things, you know how it is. So Terrence McKinney, he has to fight someone, obviously. He has to kind of go down, but not go up. It's always weird. See, we're going to kind of go down here. I could see Terrence McKinney fighting a Chris Padilla. Chris Padilla's looked real impressive lately. Or maybe a Terrence McKinney, if we want to go another named person. Maybe the winner of because the loser of Quaylen Sakilde versus Rongju. That could be good. But yeah, I think Chris Padilla or the loser of the Quaylen Sakilde Rongju fight. I think that's a good matchup. For Chris Duncan, they should honestly be giving him a ranked opponent. He looks super impressive in every fight too. I think Chris Duncan versus Beneil Dariush is the fight to make, but don't know how long Beneil's going to be out. If they don't want to give Chris Duncan a ranked guy, I guess you could do Chris Duncan versus Ignacio Barramundes. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, I think that could be a good fight. But he's top 16 anyway, so he'll be in there. And yeah, I think Chris Duncan versus Ignacio Barramundes or Chris Duncan versus Beneil Dariush, that makes a lot of sense. We booked that fight. For the next fight, feels like I already just matched Grant Dawson. Yeah, I agree. I think Jalen Turner. No. I'm cooked up. So I said Grant Dawson should fight someone way down. Who did I say he'd fight? Oh, Marion. No, I don't know. Who did I just put him against? Doesn't matter. Yeah, I think Grant Dawson. He kind of sucks. Gotta be honest. I think Grant Dawson has to fight like a Jalen Turner. Yeah, I think that's what I did. I think Grant Dawson versus Jalen Turner. That makes a lot of sense. Jalen Turner needs someone to build a name off, and Grant Dawson, if he doesn't go to the game plan again, he's gonna get knocked out. So yeah, I think it's a good fight. For Manuel Torres, I guess he gets to go up again in the lightweight division. Problem with lightweight is like nearly everyone's booked up, and Manuel Torres is in the top 15. So We could do Manuel Torres versus Renato Moicano, or we could do Manuel Torres versus the loser of Dan Hooker versus BSD. That's a good fight. Manuel Torres versus the loser of Dan Hooker and Benoit. So yeah, book that fight. All right, and on to the. It's really weird because they both keep their rankings, but they also drew. So for Bogdan Guskov. For Bogdan Guskov, I think he should fight up, regardless. Even though I think he lost. What ranking is Bogdan Guskov? So he gets a ranking up, number 10. I think Bogdan should fight Jamal Hill. I like that fight. Bogdan Guskov versus Jamal Hill. Or you do Jan Blachowicz versus Jamal Hill. Whatever way you want to put, whichever way you really want to put Jamal Hill. Do you want him fighting in up and comer, or do you want him fighting in unk? And it's a good fight either way. Or we could have Bogdan Guskov, if he's fighting downwards, fights Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker got a pretty impressive KO over Zhang Ming Yang. He has to fight somewhat up, but not too much. Yeah. Or we could do Jan Blachowicz versus Volkan Uzmir. That's a good fight. Neighbouring countries, and that could be fun. Yeah, I like that fight. And for the next fight, Henry Cejudo retired, so we don't have to worry about him getting matched up. And for Peyton Talbot, man, Peyton Talbot's got a lot of people. Like, he's got a lot of contenders he gets to fight. Put on a super impressive performance. He could fight. There's a lot of people he can fight. I like the fight with him versus Ayman Zahabi. Get Ayman Zahabi out of there because I don't think he wins against. I'm dumb. Peyton Talbot. Or we could do Peyton Talbot versus. Depends how much you like the contenders. You could do Peyton Talbot versus Corey Sandhagen. Because now that Petr Yan just won the title, I think O'Malley's going to win the title, win against Song Yadong, then he's going to fight Petr Yan. I think you do the loser of Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong versus the Peyton Talbot. I think I like that fight. Makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I think we booked that fight. So yeah, for the next fight, Brendan Moreno versus Tatsuro Taira. Brendan Moreno, a bit of an early stoppage, but what are you going to do about it? Have a whinge. I think you do Brendan Moreno versus Kyoji Horiguchi. Makes a lot of sense. He lost to a Japanese guy. Now he's to fight another Japanese guy. And it's not too much of a step up for Horiguchi. Tatsuro Taira is going to get the title shot. Spoiler alert. But it makes a lot of sense otherwise. So Kyoji Horiguchi is an up-and-comer. I think Brandon Moreno fights him. And that's pretty much the only guy I can think who should fight Moreno. So yeah. Kyoji Horiguchi versus Brendan Moreno makes a lot of sense. For Tatsuro Taira, there's really only one fight, and that is Joshua Van. I think Tatsuro Taira versus Joshua Van, while Pantoja weights is smart. I think that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, that's all I've got to say about it. It'll be a real entertaining fight. Striker versus grappler. I'm leaning towards Horiguchi Taira, honestly. I think Japan's going to get their first champion. So yeah, I think that's going to be a good fight. I'll talk more about it once the fight's coming up. But yeah, I think that's a good matchup for Tatsuro Taira I think it's Joshua Van. And for Alexandre Pantoja, he's going to be out for a while. I'm not going to match him up, I think. But he obviously gets the instantaneous rematch against Joshua Van when he does come back. And for Joshua Van, as I just said, he should fight Tatsuro Taira in the meantime. It was great placement on the card too. So yeah, Joshua Van versus Tatsuro Taira. Very excited for that fight. And for the next fight, for Merab Dvalishvili, a lot of people are saying he should get the instantaneous rematch. Here's the thing. I think the way the UFC is going, I think they're going to make him fight an up-and-comer. Not an up-and-comer, but... Look, if they... I obviously think it should be Merab versus Piotr again. But I could honestly see the UFC being like, okay... So Sean beats Song, and then Sean's going to skip the line somehow. I guess we could see Merab versus Umar in a main event. Which is insane, because Merab's already beaten Umar. But you never know. We just saw Piotr beat him. I would like to see Piotr versus Merab again. But I think it's going to be Piotr versus Sean O'Malley, just the way the UFC's going. So, yeah, I think Merab's going to fight Umar Nurmagomedov or Piotr. There's no one else. And for Piotr Jan, obviously, like I just said, I think it's going to be either Sean O'Malley. I'm very confident it's Sean O'Malley now. If Song beats him, hey, it's Song Yadong. But it's Piotr versus the winner of Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. Or Piotr versus Merab. So, anyways... Those are the fights I think that should be made for this card. This is the last numbered card of the year. I'm going to make my ratings of every card this year after the Royval and Cup fight this weekend. I'm going to do a couple more videos before the year's over. But yeah, man, look, this is a banger card in itself. I did love putting the matchups together. I probably will put a little bit more effort into the videos. I'm going to put music in the background at some point. I just got to learn how to do it. But yeah. Anyways, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you later. And before I end the video, I will have the Cup versus Rival fight night picks coming out in the next 2 days. But yeah, see you later. Bye.